Welcome everyone to my YouTube channel, Modest Mom. I'm a Christian mother, pastor's wife, homestead, and homeschool mom of getting ready to be 4 children by November, Lord willing. I invite you all to come with me as I work on some sewing projects that I need to get done as we ease into the colder months ahead. So like I said earlier in the video, I have a lot of different sewing projects that I'm needing to get done. And altogether, that's just a few different kinds of sewing, whether that be machine sewing or crocheting or knitting. There's a little bit of all of it that I do. And so I need to get some more things done. I need to get some more dresses made for one of my girls. And I may talk a little bit about why I have been trying to make their dresses here in a little bit. I make like crocheted and knitted dishcloths sometimes to sell, sometimes for gifts, and Christmas is coming up, so I need to do that. And then I also have some blankets I need to work on as well for crocheting and knitting. And for those of you that are wondering, I am expecting a baby, and hopefully she is supposed to be here in November. And so we are pretty excited about that and doing some things to prepare for that. And so I know that here pretty soon I won't have quite as much time on my hands maybe. So when I do have the energy, I've been trying to work on some of these things. And energy this pregnancy has been very slim, to be real honest with you. So I just been taking a lot of breaks and doing a little bit at a time. Right here I am cutting out some fabric that I had bought actually from a local Amish store. And then those brown craft paper that I just showed you, that is my pattern. And I've kind of tried to teach myself just how to cut out my own pattern using like a dress that I maybe had already bought in her, like a style that I liked on my daughter. It's my oldest daughter. And I've done it for my middle daughter as well. And you just fold the fabric in half and place it on the edge of your fabric so that you have a whole piece. That is the bodice that I'm cutting out right now. And so, yeah, I've just been trying to teach myself for quite a long time how to make a full dress. That's something that I've wanted to do, and it's taken me a lot of practice. Just knowing what I do like, what I don't like, what I like to sew with, and things like that. So that is the full bodice, and I love that material. Some of you may think that's kind of silly that I've been getting that at the Amish store, but I'm telling you guys, it has been so easy to sew and to just work with in general and cut out, and both sides are pretty well, there's not really a front side or a back side, so it makes it really easy for someone who is learning and just trying to grow in sewing. So I'm just cutting out each piece. You have your bodice and your skirt and then your sleeves, and you just sew all of your pieces with the right sides together basically. And sometimes those things may sound easy, but it's so easy to make mistakes as well. And I have sat there seam ripping my mistakes, and sometimes it's very frustrating. But the only way we learn is by making mistakes. And so that was something I wanted to learn. The reason why I started making my girls' dresses truthfully, and I wanted to talk about that with you guys, is that I have been having just a hard time finding modest dresses for girls or even for myself. And by modest, I mean something with sleeves, whether that be short sleeve or long sleeve or quarter length. I tried to get away from the no sleeves, as much as I can, and then just something that goes like below the knee, like well below the knee. You would be shocked at just how less and less of those that you see. And I've just been having trouble finding them, and so I've tried to dig deeper into my sewing skills. I knew the basics already, and so I just have been trying to lean on that and try to grow in that as well. I myself had started wearing skirts and dresses more often just because I felt like it was something I needed to do, and it just made me feel more feminine, I guess, spiritually, not just because I'm a girl wearing a dress, but it made me feel better spiritually, and so I think that's what matters. And so I actually started making some of my own skirts and my kids' skirts, and which skirts are really super easy if you want to start out with those. And then I went into the full dresses, and this is only like I'm not for sure, maybe my 5th dress or so that I've tried to make. It's taken me a lot of practice and a lot of failure, but you know what? That's part of life, failure is part of life and part of learning. And it's the same way with things like bread making. If you want to get into bread making or just making more things from scratch in your home cooking, whatever that may be for you, it's going to take some failure, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you're bad. It doesn't mean that you're a bad mother or wife. You're just learning, and that's what it takes. And I don't know about you, but especially with the homesteading and learning more on that and sewing, I'm really bad at just getting mad or upset when I can't learn it the first time, and it just shouldn't be that way. I've gotten better over, I think, with age, and just learning more things, but it's something that I need to work on more myself as well. And so I took a little break from sewing, I think, in this part of the video. I was going through my closet some. I needed to get rid of a lot of jeans and different things like that. This is something I've wanted to do before the baby gets here, so I'm trying to do that because I have went through the girls' closets as well, and that's also why I've been making their dresses. I needed some, and so I've been doing that and just preparing for the baby. I did find some glass bottles. I was super excited. This was a secondhand thrift store find, and I was super excited because it seems like nobody uses glass bottles anymore, and I wanted to try it. And so I went ahead and got them. I'm super excited about those. And some people may say, why in the world would you want to sew your own dress or even for your kids when you can just go buy one? And sometimes, truthfully, I would want to go buy one, but I have really enjoyed this whole dressmaking experience. I just sew a simple dress. I don't do any frilly stuff. I don't do anything like that. My girls love them, just simple like that, and they wear them all the time, even to play in. And so it doesn't have to be fancy or super difficult. I started to do that because I felt like I didn't have a choice, because they're so hard to find, just a modest dress and like a full dress. And so I just sort of took matters into my own hands. And every once in a while I'll find one that I like and I think is more appropriate. But that's just what I started doing, and I prayed about it, and I think the Lord has blessed in that, very much so. So that is why I've been making more dresses and trying to sew more. It's not only just a desire of mine to get better at that, but also a need in our family as well. And like I said, I've been working on some other sewing projects with crocheting and knitting too that I just need to keep plugging away at. And so that's what I've been doing here lately. My husband has been in revival and it closed out, but that's why I was not making a video last week, and so we were busy with that. I was trying to help support the effort when I could. And sewing takes up a lot of time as well. You have to sort of prioritize your time in order to get things done. And I got the top done on this dress. I have a couple different ones that I have made, and then I have a purple one that I got done, and then I'm still working on this one and getting some cuddles during sewing. I couldn't just pass that up. But we are still working on that blue one. I'm almost done with it. And like I said, we just have to prioritize our time sometimes, and that's okay. You know, I have to give myself some grace right now. This pregnancy, truthfully, has been really good. I just needed to sort of sit down when I need to sit down. The baby has flipped upside down, and so I have been having some Braxton Hicks and stuff here lately, and just been hurting a little more, which is normal. So I've just been giving myself some grace and sitting down when I need to sit down, and just knowing that it's going to be okay. Sometimes I have to tell myself that I don't need to get everything done right now. And it's hard because truthfully, I don't have a whole lot of time to sit down between being a mother of 3 and homesteading and all of that. It's just hard to do. But we need to give ourselves grace as mothers. And here is the final purple dress that I made for her. Thank you guys for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.